last night I did some damage and I ordered all of the newly published Virago Modern Classics, the ones that were published in May this year. They were just stunning and I couldn't restrain myself, and I hadn't read a single one of the books. I mean, look how beautiful they are. I can't wait to see them in person. So you'll be seeing a Virago book haul pretty soon as I receive them. I do have an update concerning my reading because I ended my last reading vlog with a book. Obviously, this is the book that I finished last week and really liked, and I was interested to read the second book about Dracula, but I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to save that book for October because it will be perfect for that Halloween time of the year. And the same goes for another book from my recent book haul, this one. I'm going to save it for October because this one is more of a thriller and a horror, and I think it will be perfect to read when it's darker outside. And I'm actually taking a short break from reading these days just because I felt a little bit too overwhelmed with all of the books I've been reading and I needed a break. So I'm doing that, and then we will see what book I actually pick up next. Right now I just really want to get my hands on those Virago classics and read them instantly. Hi, Zeus. Hi. Good morning. Zeus. Hi. Oh, what a charmer. Good morning, everyone. I couldn't fall asleep last night, and so I picked up this book, this fantasy adult novel, The City of Brass, and so far I'm enjoying reading about genies flying on rocks and sharks. This one highly reminds me of Aladdin, and it's a world that I really want to be in mentally, so this is an interesting read so far. I am now 80 pages in, and I hope that my interest in this rather abstract fantasy world will remain. But now it's time to go work out. Good morning, everyone. It is now 24 hours later, and things have changed since I last spoke to you. Let me go to the sun so that you can see my beautiful face, and also so that I can show you the books I'm going to talk about, because basically last time I spoke to you I had just picked up a fantasy novel and I was about 80 pages into it. I read that one throughout the day and I made it about 150 pages in, but I just had a hard time reading a fantasy book. I realized that I was not in the mood for that genre. The world building just didn't interest me, and I knew that it wasn't the book's fault, it was my reading mood, and my heart just wasn't in a fantasy book. So late last night I decided to pick up two completely random books that are about everyday life and people that you can relate to, because that's a genre that I know that I love the most, and I've been missing reading these books lately, which I haven't been doing a lot. I've been branching out too much, and now I feel a slump coming, but not anymore, because I'm now reading two rather fabulous books. The first one being Titans by Leela Meacham. I have read previously two of Leela Meacham's books and they are very entertaining. They are set in America, they are historical fiction, and this one in particular is about two families and about romances. And the beginning of this book was just excellent and very compelling. And the other book I decided to pick up is this memoir, the French one I bought last week. And so far, so beautiful. I mean, wow, this writing. It is about the author's mother who dies, and then it's a memoir of her life and their relationship. And the author tries to justify with herself in the beginning writing this book, because there are so many books out there about people's mothers and their relationships. But she justifies it very well, I think, and just the writing and also the life story of her mother is very interesting. Much more interesting than I had anticipated. So I'm so thrilled I decided to pick up these two books, because I think I've got my reading mojo back. It is a new day and time for a new update. I am up a little bit early today because we are going to do a family gathering at a beach house, so that is going to be fun. But before I leave, by the way, that is Zeus eating his breakfast in case you can hear some weird noises. But before I'm leaving, I want to update you on the books I'm reading. This one I'm 165 pages in and it's entertaining. Leela Meacham is good at writing adorable historical fiction with characters that make really questionable decisions. And then for this one, I have now made it 113 pages into it. And it is beautiful. This mother, who is otherwise unknown to all of us readers, has had quite an interesting life. For instance, she used to be a child model, and one day she posed with Brigitte Bardot, the French model, under the Eiffel Tower. I think that's pretty fascinating and interesting, and I'm only 100 pages in, so it's going to be interesting to read on and learn more about this woman's life. And that's it for my update. I won't have a lot of time to read today because of the family gathering, which is perfectly fine, but I guess I will update you again at some point after that gathering. I feel like I should probably update you on my reading, which has been rather slumpy today. I have read, but I haven't felt like reading, so I really shouldn't be reading. But it's just my reading mood that hasn't been the best. So it's great to have Zeus as my playing buddy, because he's a great playing buddy. He just doesn't look like it right now. Hello everyone, it's a new day, and since I spoke to you last night, I feel like my reading has picked up just a tiny little bit. I actually decided to pick up again this book that I have been reading. Let me just get into some lighting. And that was too bright. Summers are so annoying when it comes to bad lighting. I decided to pick up this book again, and I'm reading it slowly, but I'm actually enjoying being in a fantasy world once again. I'm now reading 3 books, this one as well as the French memoir and Titans by Leela Meacham. I really shouldn't be reading 3 books at a time, just because sometimes that overwhelms me, but I feel good about it, and I like being able to change my reading a little bit and pick up whatever I'm in the mood for at the moment. So I feel like my reading is picking up a little bit, and that is good. I will say that this book is very silly and it's my least favorite of the bunch, but I'm still reading it because it is an entertaining read. I just feel like the characters are so predictable, their decisions, and they are just hilarious to read about because they are silly. Their decisions and their personalities I just don't really understand. I am a little bit put off by that, but I'm still enjoying my reading of it, And it is going to happen because now I'm more than halfway through it. But it's the book I'm the less likely to pick up of the three. Today is 28 degrees Celsius. I feel like I need some sort of a cold beverage. Let's see what I can find. That is such a weird angle. I think I'm going to go for a Pepsi Max today. A rare thing for me to drink. I try to not drink too much of soda, but once in a while the weather is too hot not to allow yourself one. And for once I was going to say I'm not drinking coffee because it's too hot for that. But come autumn and come winter, which I'm looking forward to, that coffee is going to go down like it's no one's business. Oh, my laundry is done. Now I just need to go edit yet another video. This one is about scary reads, which I did improvise because today is Friday the 13th. I also should find a great scary movie to watch tonight, if I can find one. Cheers! I have been thinking about this year's Booktubeathon challenges, and I think Zeus just found a spider or a fly. Zeus, what did you find? Okay, you are scaring me. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been thinking about the challenges for this year's Booktubeathon, and I have to get something off my chest because I feel like every year the challenges become sillier and sillier and I just don't understand them. So let me be clear about something. I think it's great that they are putting all this effort into doing a readathon and gathering so many people to read for a week. That is amazing. But what I don't think is great are the challenges which are questionable. This year there's a challenge to read a book wearing the same hat. And I'm wondering why. Thank you, Siri. No, please. Siri, no! Siri keeps interrupting me. Why would you create a challenge to read a book wearing a hat? Just for the fun of it, I guess. But I mean, they have this platform of so many people wanting to participate, so why not create some challenges that are worth something? For instance, to read your mom's favorite book as a child, or to reread a book or whatever, but something that actually means something. Another challenge they have this year is the traditional one to read a book with green on the cover, or maybe it's another color. They change the color every year, and I'm thinking, is that because it's one person's favorite color and then everyone has to read a book with that color, or what is the deeper meaning behind it? It's not enough for me to go pick up a book with green on the cover, that's for sure. So what I'm saying is that while I appreciate that Booktubeathon is happening again and so many people are participating, I'm not one of those people. Once again, I am going to just enjoy my last week of summer and enjoy my reading and not push through 7 books in 7 days. I used to do that some years ago, but not anymore. Today is Saturday and I am going to spend most of the day at a birthday party in the family, which is going to be nice. This is my outfit. But the trip there is going to be rather long in the car and I'm not driving, so I have a lot of time to read. And I think I'm going to bring this book with me just because it's my least favorite of the ones I'm reading, and I find that if that's the only book I have to read with me on that road trip, then I'm probably going to read it. It sounds like it's really bad. It isn't. I just don't feel inclined to pick it up when I do have other reading choices to pick from. And since this is the last day of this reading vlog, I don't think I'm going to finish any of the other books I'm currently reading, so let me just show you. By the way, in this one I am how far in? I'm currently 340 pages into this one, so let's see how far I make it on that road trip. I have less than 100 pages left of this one, and I like how this has taken a very dark turn. Not that I like it, but it keeps me intrigued. And then the last book is the book I've actually spent a good hour this morning in bed reading, this one. And I am more than halfway through it, and I must say I'm enjoying it more and more. So this one is turning out to be quite a good read after all. And in this one I am about 300 pages in out of about 500. So that's my update. I guess I will check in with you by the end of the day when I return home and can tell you how far I made it into this one. My dream would be to finish it, but that's not going to happen. But I will be happy if I just manage to make a really large dent into this book. I'm back home again, and I think that bringing this book with me was a mistake because I really can't deal with it. I don't find it interesting enough, and it was a struggle to read in it. So I have made it to page 397, which isn't a lot, but that's because I was struggling. My biggest problem with it is that it is, I like to call it a book of explanations. The characters in this book like to stop up every second page to reflect on what is going on, and those reflections continue for pages and pages, and that's what's really bothering me. It's too slow and it's too predictable, and I think I'm going to put this on a hold. I think I'm going to put this down for a little while, for a few days, and maybe if I'm interested to finish it I will do that, but I might DNF it, even though it's not horrible. It's just too long of a book to make me want to finish it. However, the birthday I went to was amazing. I got some footage of the amazing food and the amazing setting, and I was just in love with the place, so that was really good. But I'm very exhausted now, and I'm ready to edit this vlog and then go to bed. So that's my plan for tonight. I guess I will see you in my next vlog.